What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to JD's Nerdverse. We're doing a prediction video today for Scyther, the Mantis Pokemon. The bug flying Mantis. So this is just Scyther. There's no evolution for Gen 1 for Scyther. I think in future generations you get Scyther and Cleavor. But this generation it's just plain old Scyther. So let's look at the stats for plain old Scyther. And HP is 70, 110 attack, 80 defense, 55 special, and 105 speed. So speed and attack are very good with this Pokemon. Actually, stats overall are very good with this Pokemon. It's probably its brightest light is the fact that it has fantastic stats. Attack and speed are our best. HP and defense are not bad, and specials are worse. However, special is not the worst thing because we don't have a lot of special attacks anyway, so it's not going to work with that. It's only going to affect us when it comes to defense, like our special defense. So, but it ain't the worst. We've definitely done, we've done more with less. So, but that's the good part about this Pokemon is its stats are very solid. The bad part about this Pokemon, it's got two bad parts actually. Well, typing kind of is, but it's Moveset. So here's our level up Moveset. So ignore what's in yellow. For some reason in yellow they decided to add Wing Attack, which is not a very powerful move to begin with. 35 base power. I guess it's stab, so it's kind of not bad. But they decided to add that level 50. Doesn't make sense, but I mean, if we were playing through with yellow, it would help because level 50 we'd be at the Elite 4, and now we can hit Ghosts. So I'll get to that, what that means here in a little bit. But we were playing with Pokemon Blue, so we start the game off at level 5 with Quick Attack. 40 base power, 100% accurate. Quick Attack would definitely be a move that it coincides actually very well with our attack stat. So not bad. It'll be a little bit more powerful than 40, just 40 base power, because of our attack stat, but it ain't gonna be great because it's normal type. We do have priority on going first, but when it comes to the first gym, we're gonna need the next move, which is Leer. Leer is 100% accurate. It lowers the opposition's defense, so it lowers your defense by a stage. So it makes our quick attack more effective, basically, and it helps us buy game when it comes to the first gym. Level 20, we get Focus Energy, and we're not gonna use it, but here's what it does. Here's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to make it 4 times more likely for a critical hit. Focus Energy makes it 4 times less likely for a critical hit because there's a glitch in the game. It was a coding error. So Focus Energy is garbage. Double Team, it's been outlawed, so we can't use it. Basically what it does is it ups your evasiveness, but what it also does is the badge boost and ups all your stats. So that's great, but I've not allowed that because it's such a broken mechanic in Gen 1 that I've just not allowed it. And at level 29 we get Slash. So we got to go 24 levels before we get actual physical damaging move from Quick Attack to Slash. It's 70 base power, 100% accurate. It has a very high critical hit ratio, so it's a very powerful move. And the next move it would coincide very well with the next move for sure if it wasn't for the fact that Slash gets a lot of critical hits. When something gets critical hit in Gen 1, it ignores all the stat buffs. So the opposition does like a Harden and his defense is very high, Slash, critical hit, ignores that. So it just goes straight for the jugular, basically. But Swords Dance is the stat modifying move that we get with this Pokemon. You have that in Agility, and I'm going to choose Swords Dance. Swords Dance does a better job of upping your attack stat. You have, it goes up 2 stages every time you use Swords Dance. Plus it does the badge boost, which boosts all of our other stats by 12.5% every time we do Swords Dance. So, yeah, fantastic. Agility we're not going to use, but it basically ups your speed. It does the same thing as Swords Dance, but it just works with your speed. But it also does the badge boost. And again, like I said, we don't get Wing Attack with this Pokemon, so our only 2 physical damaging moves we get via level up are Quick Attack and Slash. So let's move on to the TM moveset and see how good or bad the TM moveset is. Well, the TM moveset doesn't do much more. So Swords Dance we can get via TM if we want to, but we're going to get it via level up long before we get to that point. Toxic is a move we may have to just hang on to just to see if we need to use Toxic strategies to get through the Elite 4. Takedown and Double Edge are pretty much the same move, one just more powerful. So I rarely would ever use Takedown unless there's no other option. So Double Edge will be a move I would consider. Hyper Beam is definitely going to have to be used with this Pokemon. It's the most powerful move we can learn, and we got to use it because there's nothing else we can really learn. Use with this Pokemon, it's going to be that effective. Rage would be great if it was earlier, but the fact where we get the Rage in the game, I think it's around, honestly, I think it's around where Safari Zone is, so it's kind of pointless having Rage at that point. If we got like it right after like Mount Moon, it'd probably be more useful, and it worked very well with this Pokemon's stats, but Rage is useless. Mimic won't be not useful. We could probably use it for something. Double Team's Outlaw. Bide is very useful, and I'll get to that here in a little bit. Swift will be very good to have right after we come out of Rock Tunnel. It actually can do the badge boost very well. Badge boost attack very well. It also doesn't miss except for ghost types. Skull Bash is a garbage move, which I will not be using in this playthrough. I hate this move. It is very powerful, and it does work well with our attack stats, but it's two turns, and I just don't like it. Rest, not going to use. Substitute, not going to use. And Cut, not going to use. So, there's one massively glaring. The stats are pretty good. The moveset's meh, but there's one major glaring weakness of this Pokemon. This Pokemon cannot attack Ghost Pokemon at all. It has two moves that can attack Ghosts. Bide, which if you don't know what Bide does, whenever you initiate Bide, whatever the opposition does to you, you can do back double. Okay, so we got take damage to deal damage. That's a nice way of putting it. We got take damage to deal damage. So Bide is the only way we're going to be able to get through Pokemon Tower, because there's no other move we can get. We can't get Mimic till after we beat Silphco. We have to beat a Pokemon Tower to beat Silphco. So we can only use Bide to get by that. So that's not going to be fun. Okay. Mimic is also a move we can use because we can mimic a move off the opposition. So for example, because Agatha, we're going to have to mimic Nightshade to be able to beat Agatha. Okay, there's other moves we can probably mimic, but that's the only one that's going to actually be able to do damage. So at some point, we're going to replace Bide with Mimic, and then that's how we're going to get past Ghost Pokemon. There's no other way to do it. There's not another way to do it. It doesn't get no other move. In future generations, there are other moves, and actually in this generation there is, but we don't get Swing Attack in this game. So this will be very brutal, because as powerful and as cool as this Pokemon is, one of the coolest looking Pokemon in Generation 1, there is not an ability. There's no like great moves with this. There's no flying moves this Pokemon gets. There's no bug moves this Pokemon gets. So those two things are just completely inoperable with this Pokemon, and we gotta get through this game with a boatload of normal damaging moves. We actually have the same kind of issue with another Pokemon later, Eevee. We're gonna play through with Eevee by himself or herself. I don't know which one it is. I haven't got the gender yet. And at least Eevee has Stab. None of this stuff is Stab, but Scyther has way better stats. So that's going to be tough. So look at our in-game moveset. We're looking at like what? Swords Dance, probably Slash. Okay, maybe Swift. It's not much different than Slash. Swift won't critical hit as much. Okay, Mimic and Hyper Beam. That's little, or we might go with Takedown or Double Edge. I'm sorry, Double. That might be what we have to do. So yeah, for sure, it's gonna have to be Swords Dance, booster attack, and I'm gonna have to decide between Double Edge, Swift, and Slash. The downside to Double Edge is recoil. The downside to Slash is it critical hits, so it ignores all of our stat buffs. And Swift is not as powerful as the other ones, but it's most reliable, I guess. Best way to put it. And then Hyper Beam will be added because we need a knockout. We need a big hitter. We need that Hail Mary one-hit knockout. But let's move on to the rules of this playthrough. Only use the primary Pokemon in battle. Running Clock with 3 exceptions. Lieutenant Surge's Gym. Sometimes we pause for Celadon City when we first get there, and a couple other places for sure, but mainly it's Celadon City. And then the last one is when we need to buy a move from the Rocket Game Corner. We pause timer, buy some stuff, sell some stuff, whatever the case may be, and then we start the timer up when we're done. In Gen 1, you can only buy 50 coins at once. That's why this rule is in place. I'm not penalizing the Pokemon because of the mechanic of the game. No glitches or exploits allowed other than the badge boost, no Missingo or Pokédoll glitch, and no items in battle except for Ethers. I've gotten pretty loose on those, but in general, Ethers just not allowed, or Ethers are only allowed in battle, and that's to compensate for my stupidity whenever I screw something up. And while you're here, hit the like, share, subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button, like, share the video, comment on the video. Just be engaged, please. Appreciate it. And let's go back to the main screen. And let's talk about how long this is going to take. Well, first off, it's not going to be brutal, but it's going to be pretty tough. It's going to be a tough playthrough because we have a very shallow move pool. It's not the greatest. It's not very good. And we also don't have a lot of move diversity. Okay, a lot of them work very well with our attack stat, and that's about where the benefits end. So we don't have a lot of moves, and the moves that we have are very limited, is a nice way of putting it. And also, we have to rely on some unreliable strategies to win this game. Bide is not reliable. It'll get you. It can get you out of a pinch sometimes, but it's not an every Pokemon kind of strategy move that Bide does. It's not an every move, every battle. You can't rely on Bide. You just can't do it. It's not a good enough move for that. And we're gonna have to rely on Bide for a significant portion of this game. So yeah, that's gonna be tough. And then we're gonna have to rely on Mimic. And again, that's still some strategies there. That's very risky because Mimic. We could Mimic on first turn against Agatha. We could Mimic Nightshade and never get a chance to use that move because she could put us to sleep, she could paralyze us, she could poison us, she could confuse us. All those things could happen, and we're not even going to be able to knock her out in one hit. We're going to have to take multiple hits. So a lot of luck's going to have to be involved. There's a lot of things that have to be involved for this to work out. So what I think this will be done in, I'll be tickled pink if I can get this done under 2 hours. That's going to be the goal, is get it done under 2 hours. It's not a great goal. It's very vague, but this Pokemon's it's a very weird Pokemon. This is a nice way I'll put it. It's a very weird, very odd Pokemon, and it doesn't have a lot of moves that coincide with it. It is made to be like this brick, like this force of nature, and then given the worst moves ever. So, and it got boned. It got boned in Generation 1. It's a nice way of putting it. It got boned in Generation 1. So, yeah, I think if we get it done in under 2 hours, I'll be tickled pink. And that's the prediction that I have. It's not a great prediction, but I've never played with this Pokemon before, so I really don't have much to say about it. I just know with its moves, I can see where we're going to have struggles, but I can also see how we can get through those struggles. But it just may take a little bit of grinding, a little bit of pushing through. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I know this isn't the most exciting prediction video, but I'm excited for the playthrough, but I'm not excited for the grind. And there's going to be some grinding. There's going to be some definite woes in this playthrough. But I'm excited to play through this Pokemon, because once you get by this Pokemon, there's a whole slew of good Pokemon after this. So that's how I handle the Pokemon I know that are going to be some rough playthroughs, is I look forward to what the next Pokemon is after it. So yeah, let me just think in the comment section down below how long you think it'll take me to play through. Do you have any strategies you can suggest? Because my strategies are get Hyper Beam, and we're gonna rotate from Slash, Swift, and all those things are going to be rotated through, and we'll find out what the best strategy is as I'm playing. So thanks for watching. Be sure to tune in Friday for the playthrough. Have a good one, and see ya.